Hey developers, welcome to today's Explainer. I am super glad you're here because today we are jumping right into a totally crucial phase of your development journey. As your tech mentor, my goal is to guide you through the ultimate blueprint of modern web development, applying a progressive web application, or what we usually just call a PWA. Now, if you've ever wondered how the absolute best web experiences somehow seamlessly blur the line between a standard website and a native mobile app, well, you are in exactly the right place. So let's break down the specific objectives you're going to need to conquer to make that magic happen.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What exactly is a progressive web application anyway? Well, conceptually, a PWA represents a massive shift. It's the evolution from building a traditional static web page to crafting a fully functioning dynamic web app. Basically, it's a web application that uses modern web capabilities to deliver a totally app-like experience to your users. You're no longer just rendering flat documents, you're building an interactive, incredibly resilient piece of software that literally lives on the web. And for sure, mastering this transition requires a very specific set of skills. To reach that ultimate goal, our source material outlines exactly what you need to master. By the end of this learning outcome, you're going to be equipped with an essential toolkit to totally bypass traditional web limitations. Let's look at the 6 milestones you'll be conquering. Number 1, mastering mobile-first design. Number 2, identifying essential performance optimization techniques. Number 3, describing the manifest file and service workers. 4, maintaining rock-solid responsiveness. 5, configuring that web app manifest. And finally, number 6, implementing those service workers. These 6 pillars, they're your absolute roadmap. Here is our builder's blueprint for today. First up, mobile first and responsiveness. Second, optimizing web app performance. Third, the web app manifest. Fourth, implementing service workers. And fifth, we'll see if you are ready to build PWAs.
All right, part 1, mobile first and responsiveness. Let's see how this builds. To truly master our first milestone, mobile first design, we kind of have to contrast it with the past. So traditionally, web design was always desktop first. Developers built for massive monitors and fast hardwired connections, and then, they tried to shrink that bulky experience down for mobile devices as a total afterthought. And honestly, it was usually clunky and super frustrating. Mobile-first development completely flips the script. It means designing and coding for the smallest screen and the most constrained environment first, and then progressively enhancing the application for larger screens. Getting your head around this approach is your absolutely mandatory starting point for modern PWAs. Why? Because the mobile experience is no longer just an alternative. It's the primary way the world accesses the web today. So the crucial point here is that this mobile-first philosophy directly ties into maintaining responsiveness. And listen, this isn't something you just set up once and magically forget about. Notice the specific focus on doing this in development. As you're adding new features, dropping in new components, hooking up new data streams to your app, you have to continuously ensure that your layout flexibility is maintained across literally all devices, from the tiniest smartphone in someone's pocket to the widest ultra-wide monitor on a desk. Responsiveness is an ongoing requirement. It's an active discipline you've got to practice every single time you write a line of code. Moving right along to part 2. Optimizing web app performance. Let's look under the hood. Think about the huge difference between a sluggish, clunky application and a blazing fast PWA, right? An unoptimized app makes users wait. It downloads massive uncompressed files, it blocks the main thread, and it basically just leads to a totally frustrating user experience. Nobody wants that. As a developer, your job is to identify and implement the techniques that actually solve this. Whether it's minifying your code, compressing those heavy assets, or lazy loading content so that only the absolutely necessary pieces load first, you really need to conceptually understand and identify these methods. A true progressive web app has to feel instantly responsive, and implementing these performance techniques is exactly how you make that happen.
Next up, part 3, the web app manifest. Let's talk about PWA superpowers.
Now, what's really interesting here is the concept of the manifest file. Think of it as your application's official ID card. It's essentially just a simple text file, but it contains all the crucial metadata for your progressive web app. It tells the user's device exactly what the app is called, what its icons look like, what colors to use for the overall theme, and even how it should display. For example, you can tell it to launch in full screen, hiding the browser UI entirely so it feels exactly like a native app. Describing this file means understanding that it is the core identity document. It's the very thing that allows a browser to install your web app right onto a user's home screen.
But defining the manifest is just the theory side of things, and modern development definitely demands practice. You have to take that definition and turn it into active configuration. You'll be declaring the name, setting the starting URL, defining the display mode, and hooking up all those perfectly sized icons. Getting this configuration correct is absolutely crucial. It's the bridge between a simple website sitting in a standard browser tab and a real application living natively alongside all the other apps on a user's phone. It's a massive step in the development process. All right, part 4, implementing service workers. Let's get into the mechanics. To really grasp our next milestone, the best way to understand service workers is to think of them as the background traffic cops of your PWA. Unlike your normal web scripts, a service worker sits right between your application and the network. It's managing network requests, basically acting as a proxy. It decides whether to fetch fresh data from the internet or just serve up cached data directly from the user's device. And guys, this is absolutely massive. It's the exact technology that enables offline capabilities. It allows your web app to load and function perfectly even when the user completely loses their internet connection. They just work tirelessly in the background, making your app incredibly reliable. And this brilliantly illustrates the active implementation phase. It's not just about knowing what a traffic cop does, it's about actually placing them at the intersection and handing them the rulebook. You're going to register the service worker, write the code to cache your most important application assets during the install phase, and define your strategies for intercepting those network requests. By getting this implementation right, you're literally transforming a fragile, internet-dependent page into a robust, offline-capable, progressive web application. It's a real game changer.
Finally, part 5, ready to build PWAs? Let's bring it all together.
We've explored why a mobile-first philosophy and continuous responsiveness are so essential. We've highlighted the absolute need to identify real performance optimizations. We've defined and configured that manifest file to give your app its native identity. And of course, we've described and implemented those powerful background service workers that make offline functionality a reality. You now possess the complete conceptual blueprint. So, I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Are you ready to take these 6 objectives from theory into active, hands-on development practice? Are you ready to apply what we've talked about and start coding your very own progressive web application? The tools are right there in your hands. Now, go build something amazing.